Max, before the break, we were discussing a little bit about the 2012 date with the Mayan calendar. On that particular December 21st, 2012, what is going to happen that didn't happen the day before to us on Earth?
Well, the frequency rises to the highest pitch that it possibly can. So really what happens depends on us. It really depends on where we center ourselves for this change. If we can wake enough people up and we can center this emotional state of this planet into a state of love, we could literally move to a new reality. We could quite literally do that. And this is part of the hidden knowledge, the ancient knowledge that they've been trying to keep everybody away from. This is why they're doing this at this particular time, making sure everybody's asleep. This is why there's all the fluoride and all the microwaves and all the stuff in the food, and the whole world, the whole Western world. They don't realise it. Everyone seems sort of quite normal, but everybody needs to understand that all the poisons and all the toxins and the heavy metals and the carcinogens and everything they put in our food and in our water and all the stuff they're doing in the aerial spraying is designed to actually limit brain function. That's what it does. It inhibits brain function, but we don't know. We just don't know we're asleep. A victim of hypnosis never knows he's under hypnosis. And this is literally what they're doing, and this is very important for them to try to prevent this consciousness from waking up, because if this consciousness wakes up, then they lose the entire battle. And this entire reality that we experience, that we create ourselves, we create this reality ourselves, this entire reality could literally shift to a whole new reality. And they just don't want that to happen.
Yes, and so what you're actually referring to is referred to as in the Bible as the rapture, isn't it? I mean, we're talking about in a blink of an eye, going to another reality without this new world order in tow.
Exactly. We could take this entire planet, this entire universe with us. This is how powerful we are. You've got to understand the power of human beings. This is why human beings are so important. If religion has done, I don't know, like religion has done a lot to actually hide this issue. They've got all the teachings of Christ, and they've got the teachings of a lot of this good stuff, and they've wrapped it up into a situation of control. They were very clever. They did this in 325 AD. They got this wonderful message that was put there, and they externalized it. They turned it into a system of control, which is, and not very, very few religions, if you really look at them, and you look at the difference in denominations and all these things, you find very, very few of them follow the teachings of Jesus and actually do what Jesus said, which is what it was all about. That was exactly what it was all about. And they've been very, very clever the way they've done this, and the way they've hidden this reality from people, and the way they've hidden this message from people through religion. Because religion is a good thing, but not the institutionalized religion that we're presented with as religion, because it truly isn't what the message was. And I don't mean to offend anybody with that statement. I know a lot of people are very, very much into their particular denominations, but ultimately it comes down to the message of the Christ. That's what it was all about, if you wanted to look at it from a religious sense. And there are very few people that are actually following the message of the Christ. And so that's what's important to do. And we could literally change this entire reality. We could do that, and that is the best time to do it, because that's the time when the vibration rises the highest. There's a process called kymatics. I don't know whether you've ever seen it. They get a metal plate and they put sand or salt on it, and they put a sound wave through the bottom of it. And this sound wave creates a geometric shape within the salt. And the higher they raise the sound frequency, the more complex the shape becomes. And this is a good indication of how more complex things are created by higher frequencies. And we, as we exist of energy, everything is created of energy. Ultimately, it comes down to energy completely. Everything is created of energy and frequency and vibration. So we are connected to this world that we live on in a frequency and vibrational way, and the same with the entire solar system and the galaxy and the universe all the way down the line. It's one big connection of frequency. And this frequency is rising as we hit the galactic plane. So we are becoming more complex beings, physically and in a conscious state, because this consciousness is also frequency. So it becomes a more complex consciousness and a more evolved consciousness as the frequency rises. That's the way it works.
Yes, and as I look around, though, I see so many people not evolving in complexity. They're completely asleep in this state of hypnosis that you talked about with the chemtrails, the fluoride, and the flicker rate on the television. So there is a divide on Earth that is before our eyes, but it's so subtle that not everybody is seeing it. And I've been seeing it for quite some time, for many years. But I guess if you are caught up in the lies and you are not evolving in consciousness, you would be totally oblivious to that very fact, wouldn't you?
Yeah, very well, very much so. So that's why they do this. See, it isn't that people aren't evolving; they're quite capable of evolving, but because the human body is a biological computer, that's what it is. Everything that we touch, everything that we feel or taste or do is detected by our brains as an electrical impulse. So they fill people full of these chemicals. They literally do this with in a chemical way. It's like chemical soup. They fill people full of these dioxins that they put in their food, and through fluoride in the water. And fluoride has some amazing properties. Like fluoride's a byproduct of aluminium production. And aluminium has significant properties in reducing the flow of this energy. And the whole sinister side with the metallic and the chemical processes that fluoride does, besides just keep dumb the way it does.
Max, we're going to take another break. When we get back, let's pursue that and the rituals and ceremonies that the New World Order does. Hang on, folks. We were just discussing the possible rapture and through our consciousness. That Max, rather than the rapture happening at us, we initiate the rapture through love and consciousness. That's the gist of it, isn't it?
That really is, mate. That really is what it's all about. If we don't do it, then it doesn't happen. That's the way it works. It's all about energy. It really is about energy, and it's about how we can channel this energy, what emotional state we can set ourselves in, and that's what this whole battle's about. It's about energy. Everything in the universe, everything that exists is energy. Anyone that's ever been into any of Nikola Tesla's work, or Victor Schauberger's work, or any of those sort of people, or Royal Rife, who was able to cure a lot of terminal diseases, they all know that it's about energy and frequency, everything.
Yes, didn't the scientist Rife, he was able to cure cancer many decades ago through using energy, tuning forks, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, he used frequency generators. He figured out that everything that exists is frequency. Everything is made up of energy. And in order to cure a disease, all you have to do is find out what frequency that disease is resonating at and bombard it with that same sound wave. So it feeds back on itself and shatters, much like an opera singer can shatter a crystal glass with a note of high C, because crystal vibrates at C. That's its physical state, is high C. So everything has a frequency. If you can find the frequency of cancer, you can just bombard it with the sound machine and the cancer will shatter and die.
That is fantastic, and Tesla was doing the same thing. He talked about bringing down a building with just a frequency. You just find that frequency, and you could bring it down. Listen, I wanted to discuss a little bit with you about the satanic rituals and the ceremonies, and even the architecture that these people are using to draw in negative energy into our world. How exactly does that happen, Max?
Well, it's the shapes of the buildings and the structures and the certain shapes of the roofs of the buildings and even the materials that they use. All these things are designed to channel different types of energy. That's why you'll find that a lot of religious buildings have domes on top, or spires. You'll find a lot of mosques have domes. This is because, and the Arabs will say to you, like any Muslim will say that you're not allowed to enter the mosque unless you're in a state of love. That's what it's all about, because they know that if you go into this mosque in a state of hatred, or you're going in there hating something, then you'll channel negative energy. And it's all about channeling energy. So you've got to go in there in a state of love so that you're only channeling the love energy. It's supposed to be the same in churches. A lot of churches have pyramidal roofs and spires and things like that, all designed to channel energy. So